All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to take a journey, a trip to the northern tip of Sri Lanka, to a place that's an absolutely stunning wildlife sanctuary. But here's the kicker. What makes it so unique is that for decades, it was pretty much lost to the world. It was this isolated spot where nature just took over.
And that right there, that's the whole story in a nutshell. Chundikulam isn't just a park. It's this amazing tale of rediscovery. You know, a totally pristine wilderness that was just hidden away. And because of that, nature was able to flourish, and now, finally, it's starting to reveal all its incredible secrets.
And when I say treasures, I mean it. They are absolutely staggering. So what's the headline? Well, how about this? Over 150 recorded species of birds. Just think about that for a second. That number, it makes Chundikulam a massive deal. One of the most vital hotspots for birds in the whole region. Right, so this is why we're starting with the birds. See, Chundikulam isn't just, some park that happens to have a few birds. No way. It's a true paradise for them. We're talking a world-class destination, not just for the wildlife itself, but for anyone who travels to see them.
And the cast of characters you'll find here? Oh, it's just spectacular. I mean, just picture it. Huge flocks of greater flamingos wading in the shallows. Right next to them, these elegant painted storks. And then, majestic pelicans gliding by. It's just this incredibly vibrant, dynamic spectacle of life in action.
Okay, but why? Why do they all come here? Well, it's because the park is basically a five-star hotel on the global bird highway. It's this super critical stopover point. So for the birds that live there all year, and especially for the ones migrating thousands of miles, Chundikulam has it all: the food, the shelter, and a safe place to nest and raise their young. It's the whole package.
So, you might be wondering, if this place is so amazing, why haven't we heard more about it? Why was it a secret for so long? Well, that's where things get interesting. The answer is tied up in its very unique and kind of complicated history.
Let's look at the timeline. People knew this place was special way back in 1938. That's when it was first declared a bird sanctuary. But then, for decades, the region was affected by conflict, which made the park almost totally inaccessible. It was just cut off. That long period of isolation, it finally came to an end in 2015, when it was officially upgraded to a national park and really opened up to the world again.
And here's the great irony, right? That long period of being cut off, which was, a huge challenge from a human perspective, that actually became the park's greatest blessing. It was its protector. It meant the ecosystems could just thrive totally untouched with no human interference. And that's exactly why we get to see this incredibly pristine wilderness today.
Now, while the birds are definitely the main attraction, they're really only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The park itself is this amazing tapestry of different ecosystems, and they're all woven together, all interconnected.
First off, let's just get a sense of the scale here. We're talking over 19,500 hectares. To put that in perspective, that is enormous. It's a massive protected area, and inside it, you've got this incredible variety of different landscapes.
And in that huge space, you get this amazing mix of environments. It's a key part of the larger Jaffna Lagoon network, so you've got these vital coastal wetlands and salt marshes, but the real MVPs here might be the huge mangrove forests. Why? Because they're basically the nurseries of the sea. There were tons of fish and crustaceans get their start, which forms the base of the entire food web.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds incredible, but how do you actually visit? How can you see this for yourself? Let's get into the practical stuff, the essentials for planning your own trip to this hidden gem.
All right, like any good wildlife adventure, timing is everything. If you're going for the birds, and let's be honest, you probably are, the sweet spot is the dry season. That's roughly November through April. That's when all the migratory birds show up in massive numbers, and it's also when the park is easiest to get around. Now, it's open all year, but just be ready for tougher terrain if you go outside that prime window.
And getting there is actually more straightforward than you might think. You can fly into Jaffna's International Airport, which is only about 50 kilometers away. If you're driving, the main A9 highway gets you pretty close. Or you can even take the train. The Northern Line has a stop at Kilinachi Station, which is right nearby. So you've got options.
So once you're there, what do? Well,
Obviously, birdwatching is at the top of the list, but there's more. You can explore that beautiful, serene lagoon, you can get some absolutely incredible photos, or you could even tack on a tour to some of the nearby cultural and historical sites. I'd really recommend a guided eco tour, though. That's how you get the real inside story of the park. But look, whenever a place this special, this pristine, suddenly becomes accessible, well, that comes with a massive responsibility. The entire future of this park really hangs on finding a very delicate balance. A balance between protecting it and managing the growing interest from people who want to see it.
And the challenges are real, for sure. You've got the threat of habitat degradation, you've got invasive species moving in, and you've got those inevitable conflicts between humans and wildlife. It's a tough situation. But the good news is there are real efforts to fight back. Things like habitat restoration projects, and probably most important of all, getting the local communities involved and pushing for responsible ecotourism. That's really the only way forward.
And this all leads to a really big question, one that goes way beyond just this one park in Sri Lanka. As more of these hidden gems like Chundikulam are, rediscovered and opened up to the world, we all have to face the same challenge. How do we balance our own curiosity, our desire for discovery, with the absolute need to preserve these places? How do we make sure that our own footsteps don't end up destroying the very wildness that we came to see? It's a critical question, and getting that balance right is everything.